Welcome to Inspiring Discussions, episode 23. I'm your host, Ashley Janae, and as usual, I want to give thanks to God for blessing me to do another episode, and shout outs to all of the listeners for tuning in to this amazing episode. It's because I have a special guest. He's a hip hop artist. And a passionate beat maker with two albums out that's called These Words of Mine. And I'm Here and I'm Good Here, which was released this year. So please help me welcome Deebo Mac to Inspiring Discussion. So how are you today?
I'm doing real good. I hope everybody's living well out there who got a chance to tune in to this podcast. Appreciate the hell out of y'all.
All right, well, that's good. That's amazing. And then could you tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Deebo Mac, Lansing, Michigan raised. Hip hop to the core since far back as I can remember. Everybody got a lot of influences, but some of mine, past and present, people like Method Man from Wu-Tang, Reggie Noble, aka Redman, Pac. I could keep going. Nas definitely. Um, and then some of the present ones, I'm really feeling like Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, Tree, people like that. It's a lot of people out there still making good music, and you can't forget the ones that came before all of them who laid it down and made it easy. So I'm somewhere right smack in between. Um, I I got a lot of influences, but the goal is to not really sound or be like none of them. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay, well said. I like that. I like that response. And then too, how did your music journey begin?
So I, in all honesty, I've been doing music far back as I can remember. Like I said, ever since I was a kid, I was doing something, music related, trying to figure out an instrument, or you know what I mean, banging beats out on the table, figuring out how to freestyle, and stuff like that. So, I started back in the day doing battle raps, and it wasn't the way the stuff is organized now. Battle raps back in the day, for anybody who really remember, um, was basically you just facing off with whoever, and y'all just going at it. Um, you might be pointing, you might have to spit about what somebody got on. You know what I mean? And you got to body them just off of whatever somebody pointed to based on what they wearing that night or whatever. So, I kind of came up doing that on Michigan State campus. And then later on, that evolved into, you know what I'm saying, me trying to figure out how to paint pictures on canvas and actually put songs together. So I took it there, and I ain't really ever looked back.
Okay, well that's cool then. That's cool. So you already knew this is what you wanted to do when you was real young. Got
Yeah,
exposed to it and it became your passion.
yeah. So if I'm being real about it, I didn't really know if that's what I wanted to do. I knew that I loved it.
Hmm.
Um, but I think you first gotta understand you can do it at least a little bit before you get the vibe of really wanting to do it. So like, one naturally came before the other, but the minute I figured out, I can do it, um, then I started trying. And then once I started trying, it's kind of like, a ball rolling downhill after that.
Okay, well that's cool then. Now did you start rapping first, producing first, or you did both at the same time?
So, man, I really started spitting first, but like
Okay.
as far as like making beats and everything, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Cause like I said, I used to be the dude in school, like beating on the table and all of that. Um, so I
Hmm.
would honestly say rapping to me came first,
Okay.
being real about it. And then after that, um, the beats started, the beats started coming together because I ain't waiting on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, um, when you start putting together like getting a good rhythm with it,
Hmm.
and you get to a point to where you're trying to put projects together. Me personally, I'm the type, if I got a project coming out, I'm halfway locked and loaded with the next one. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
and to be on that level, you got to have beats ready, um, so you can spit when you need to. And a lot of times, what some of y'all might already know or y'all gonna figure out, If you just messing around with like one or two beat makers, you're gonna be waiting. If they can't create, you're gonna be waiting until they can, unless you figure out how to get around that. So at the time when I was really moving, like for real, I had probably like 8 beat makers I was going through, but excuse me, I was running through too many issues with this and that dude, their head not in it right now, it's not coming out right, whatever. And you just get to a point to where you're tired of waiting. So then I was like, well, I'm gonna just start trying to make beats myself. You know what I'm saying? So I got my little stuff together and started banging out beats too. So it all came together, but it took a minute. But that was off the strength of not wanting to slow down because others had slowed down.
Yeah. Much respect for you too, because it's like, hey, when you have a vision and then you have something you want to do, you got to do it right away. You can't keep on waiting.
Yeah,
So yeah, you did right.
everybody ain't gonna be in your lane. Everybody ain't gonna be going
Hmm.
at the speed you're trying to go at. Um, and they expect you to understand that and respect it. But in the same breath, they gotta understand and respect that you might be in fifth gear right now, while they completely fine being in second or third. You know what I'm saying? And that's nothing against them. And then on their side of it, it should be nothing against you. It's just, excuse me, everybody got to be on the same wave. Um,
Hmm.
you know, and if it's not like that, you need to either figure it out on your own, or get some people around you that understand the assignment.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how you do it. So you got to have more than one way to do stuff out here. And I was just talking to my last guest, about the same situation too. You want to be able to be you want to multitask. You want to be able to write, rap, sing, if you do sing, and make beats. You can't just limit yourself to one thing.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so you did right to step out and just say, "I'm gonna make beats myself instead of waiting around." And then too, now when did you decide you really, really wanted to do this professionally? You got all of the skills now. When did you decide, hey, this is what I'm gonna do with my life?
Oh, 05.
You said oh 05. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I was excuse me. So I was going through in '05. I was going through an apprenticeship um
Mhm.
to become an industrial millwright. You know what I'm saying? I went to college for mechanical control systems and all of that. Um, and I say that to double back later on. It's kind of my words of the day that I really dish out to everybody making music because I think it's really important. But in '05, I was on this traveling crew, and we ended up in North Vernon, Indiana, at this factory where we had to do this major rebuild on these machines and everything, right? So I get down there. Now, this is North Vernon, Indiana. And if you don't know nothing about that section of the Midwest, in particular Indiana, just understand that I was Black person number 4 of the city when I was there. Uh,
Mm.
so off the rip, you get this thing in your head where you know you got a chip on your shoulder, even though it didn't really even pan out to be that way. Everybody was mad cool down there, but it was his brother working there, Charles Paris, and we linked up on some other shit. But he was making beats, so I ended up going over to his crib, whatever, and I'm checking out, some of the stuff he got, and he giving me tips and everything. And I was like, bro, like, yo, let me spit on some of these, you know what I'm saying? So like it just started from there, you know what I mean? Like um I think I put my whole album together one night at his spot in one night. The whole first album I did, you know. Um and it was kind of dope, but them kind of memories, you don't forget that kind of stuff. But yeah, like that's when it started for me in '05. It's one of them being in the right place, right time situations. And I was like, well, if at nothing else, I can check this off the list, off the bucket list. You know what I mean? As far as
Hmm.
things I wanted to do at some point. And yeah, it just kind of kept going from there.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's cool then. That's cool. Now, I know you had named some artists earlier, but who else are some of your musical influence?
Okay. Black Thought from the Roots. He is undoubtedly one of the best hip hop MCs of all time. And that needs to be said more often.
Mhm.
Royce the 5'9" from Detroit, Fat Cat from Detroit. Um, man, it's so many. Busta Rhymes. It's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. Torre, Skyzoo. Uh, excuse me. Um, man, I could just. There's so many people that I want to name off all at the same time. I can't hardly think of none of them right now. You
It's
know?
so many, yes. And then
Yeah,
it's funny.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of people that come to mind. But I mean, on some real stuff, I listen to Dave East probably 5, 6 times a week. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Um, that's one of my favorites out right now. That's been out for a minute. Andre 3000, Kanye. You know, and it's really for like a lot of different reasons. It's not all for the same reasons. I can't forget about like Killer Mike. He dropped an album not too long ago,
Mhm.
and I still listen, excuse me, to the whole album, start to finish, because I
Okay.
think that's kind of what's missing right now. You know, people so fixated on this quick fix. Uh, the music game is kind of like the dope game. I mean, if you being real about it, right? Because like you get these heads out here, they looking for that hit, but that hit only lasts for like, you know, depending on how strung out they are, that shit don't last for more than an hour. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? And some of them half hour. They looking for another one. You know what I mean? So like, that's kind of like how the rap game is right now. You know, they want you to put these singles out instead of bodies of work. Um, and people hear the single, they hear the song a couple times, boom, they on to the next one. You know. So you got to respect people that's willing to step out that box and put together, an entire body of work for people to chew on, because
Mhm.
it's really not being focused on enough these days.
Mhm.
But yeah, like in a nutshell, them some of the dudes right there. But I mess with Vic Mensa, Absol, Murs. I still listen to Murs because he just low key dope, West Coast dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mick Jenkins. Like it's a lot of people that I listen to, like I said, for a lot of different reasons.
Oh, okay. Wow. So and I must say hip hop has come a long way after 50 years too, because they
Yeah,
just celebrated 50 years. I want to say it was last year.
yep,
Yeah. And then it's like, and you still got the pioneers that paved the way for these artists today still doing their thing. They brought back Method Man, they brought back Ice-T, Busta Rhymes, Ron DMC, all those legendary artists, and Missy too.
yeah. So like, in all honesty, Busta Rhymes never left. Like
Right. Yeah.
he literally never left. He
Mm,
took a break, but he came back not too long ago, and he's still been smashing it. Like he been
yeah.
doing singles the whole thing. Like he been a staple. He been rooted. You know what I mean? And he been 10 toes down far back as I can remember. He never left. Um,
Mm,
and I think that in itself is dope because that's hard to do
yeah.
for as long as he been in it.
Hmm. Yeah, and then shout outs to Buster for getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards last year, too. That was a big moment.
Yep.
And it was well deserved, too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm glad.
Hmm.
It's good to see. Um, excuse me. I used to bring up a lot the fact that it bothers me to my core how hip hop is structured to where it's similar to like gymnastics.
Hmm.
I don't watch a lot of gymnastics, but one thing I know for a fact, they looking for gymnasts that's young as hell. And when I say young, I mean like 14. You know what I mean? And they be
Hmm.
making it to the Olympics and all of this stuff, and they put them on the highest level, and that's fine. But like that don't mean everything got to be like that. And I just never understood how you got genres like rock and roll, country music, Them niggas be doing tours when they're 85.
Yep.
Mick Jagger, he done had 13 hip replacements. Uh, you know what I mean? 5 triple bypasses, and he's still on stage. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he gotta be close to 80. You know what I'm saying? And nobody bats an eyelash. They
Yeah.
still go wherever they want to go. You know what I mean? They then are selling out wherever they go. Like all of these rock and roll artists, they got it like that. But it's a privilege that's been given to them because there's not such a stint put on that genre like it is for hip hop. And it's because other people is getting involved and making it that way. Like I think if the product is still good, um, then somebody out there is gonna buy it. And that don't necessarily mean that it's got to be in the same lane as the product coming from a young dude. You know what I mean? Like they on a different they on different pages in life. Uh, dudes the age of like Common, Busta Rhymes, they're not supposed to be rapping about the stuff that Lil Yachty rapping about. That don't
Exactly.
even feel right. But
Exactly.
that don't mean just because the age range is different that both of them ain't got product that need to be marketed because there's a market for it. And with hip hop, we do it that way and we allow others to get involved and keep it that way when it's room for everybody, but they want you to act and think like it's not.
Hmm. Yeah, it seemed like things have changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and then who are some of your producer influences?
Oh man. So I like Hit Boy. Um, I like Battle Cat from back in the day. Um, Mean Green with Master P and No Limit. Uh Swiss Beats is dope. He
Hmm.
dope. I'll give it to
Yeah.
him. But I feel like Timberland is crazy for a different reason because Timberland is the type like all these dudes, right? They got like these $1 million studios or more. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they put together these $1 billion beats. Kanye included, one of my favorites. But like the funny thing is, a dude like Timberland and even Ye, you can give them a Casio keyboard that you got from Walmart, and on God, they will put a dope beat together.
Yeah.
You know, like so, I really respect the dudes like that. Um, but then I like Ninth Wonder. I love Ninth Wonder because he more of a drum machine dude. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
love that because that's what I'm that's what I lean towards is the drum machine and the keyboard. So yeah, them some of my favorites right there though.
Oh, okay, cool. Yep. And then it's funny that you say Timberland too, because he's one of my favorite producers as well. If you think about it, he produced for so many artists, including Aaliyah, we know, Missy Elliott, Justin Timberlake, and many more, and
Yep,
still doing his
Magoo.
thing to his day.
Yep.
Magoo, yeah. Rest in peace to Magoo too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
like
So
he had a whole wave. But he's still doing it. People just don't know that.
oh yeah, still around doing his thing. And then he had took a break at one point too and came back, and then he just started, he got back in the groove. It's
Yep.
like he ain't missed a beat.
Yep. But I like Dre a lot.
Yeah.
Because Dre is the type I kind of think like he think. I won't say he think like I think because he already made it. I'm not yet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think like he think from the aspect you don't always need 1,000 sounds in a beat to make it dope. Um, and I think people go too overboard with that. Like I get a lot of beats from a lot of people, and sometimes you hear these instrumentals, and it's like, bro, why did you send this to me? Because this one of them beats that the beat got to respect the person going on it, even though you don't necessarily know who's gonna go on it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There's got to be room for the artist and the instrumental to coexist in that body of work. And sometimes, the way these beats are structured, number one, beat makers got to understand that if you send it to a rapper, it's got to be structured properly. I didn't have beats where I'm supposed to spit for 6 bars in the beginning, but the hook is 18 bars long, and then I'm supposed to jump in after that and spit for 12 bars, and then it's the same hook come back, but it's only 4 bars long this time, and then after that it's 16. You know what I mean? And it's just like you got to structure your instrumentals better than that. I don't care if you got to listen to Spotify or whatever, and just try to pay attention to the beat instead of the vocals to know the chorus changes. You know what I mean? In reference to the spots where the artist is rapping, but you gotta figure that out, because some of these beats be coming through and they're a hot mess, but they dope in the same breath. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah. So that's one of the things that it's kind of like a pet peeve. Like I shouldn't have to work on the beat just to put in work on the beat. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you said it right. It's all about structure too. And then too, the last guest I talked to, he said he takes his time with making beats. So it's just all about taking your time and making sure it's right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because you just can't say, "Oh, I got a beat," and then send it up. You just got to make sure it's right, it's structured right.
Yeah,
That's all.
I didn't have beats where, excuse me, I didn't have days where I didn't slap 4 or 5 beats out in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to it a day or two later, and they all dope. Maybe 3 of them is dope, maybe 4 of them is dope, whatever. Um, and then I done had times where I'm working on the same beat for 3 days straight because it's something about the way I slice the sample and the drum pattern, it ain't matching. Or, I want to change some of the scenes in the drum pattern with different snares or, something. Um, or it's missing a sound and I just can't figure out what sound I want to fill it with, like
Mm-hmm.
it just really be like that sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why, it's all about taking your time, making sure it's right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So now, did you do any talent shows growing up, or you just mostly did battle rap in your early in your career?
My talent shows was like ciphers and battle raps, you know what I mean? But I
Uh,
kind of like it that way. Um,
okay.
because it's more intimate, it's more personal, and like you standing in front of either a group of dudes that that equally think they as nice as everybody else or better,
Mm-hmm.
or you standing directly in front of somebody who is trying to verbally tear you to pieces in your face with an audience. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's live and direct. None of this is it ain't no pre-roll. Okay. It ain't no give me a month and let me scribble some shit out and memorize it. It ain't none of that. This shit is raw, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I I wouldn't change it for the world. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because you learn a lot, and as far as the music goes, I got a lot of my grit from that. You know, some of the songs that I do, based on the instrumental, um, it's a lot of aggression that might be in the song, um, and it comes from those times. It comes from them battles and them ciphers where I had to fight my way out of it. You know what I mean? To keep my head above,
Mm-hmm.
and something like that. I love that kind of stuff. Um, but the way it is now, like I personally, um, I'm a fan of it, but not a fan of it. But everything,
Okay.
everything got to evolve. So this is the evolution of that. And respect, excuse me, to everybody who in that realm, because it's a lot of money to be made, and all of this stuff. But yeah, I like the way I came up, and I would choose that 100 times out of 100 over talent shows.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then, like you said, I mean, it's genuine in this raw lyrics too that you putting out. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it too. And then too, how many cities did you travel to do battle raps?
So really, I just bounced around between like here, um, Lansing, East Lansing, and then every once in a while, like Grand Ledge. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Grand Rapids, not Grand Ledge. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, it was basically that. But like we talking Michigan State campus, so like every weekend we going out there party hopping and all of that, and you running into different people. Like you never gonna see the same people. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So really, you didn't have to go nowhere else because it was so many people and so many spots where everybody was doing that. Um, so that's another reason why I would take that over like talent shows because them talent shows you going over your whatever you performing, you rehearsing and all of that, and it ain't no rehearsal. The rehearsal is you know spitting in the ride over top of a song playing before you get there. That's it. 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and be ready.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. Well said.
Get embarrassed. You know what I mean? It's that simple. And you know, that's what I loved about it. It was times where I ain't even go out there to do that, and then somebody rolled up, trying to spit or whatever, and there's people around. So now it's like, so you just gonna come up, you know what I mean? You just gonna roll up like that and start spitting in front. Now I got to say, you know what I mean? Like, but
Right.
but you gotta love it, man. I love it all. I love it all. But it was fun, man, because it really was off the hip.
Okay, cool, cool. And then how do you mentally prepare yourself to battle rap against somebody?
You really don't.
You just
Um,
do.
it's one of the because like I said, it was times I went out there and I'm like, that's the furthest thing from my mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I might have been too damn high that night or whatever. Uh, and then here so and so come and he got something to prove. You know, so it's I guess if you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. My cousin,
That's true.
my cousin used to say that. And so I guess I was ready and didn't even realize it. I don't know, but like I think that's another reason why I really feel like this shit is like it's in the core. It's not just something I like doing sometimes that like this is in the blood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It's always been there.
No, okay, well that's cool. That's cool. Now, how did your family feel about you pursuing music?
So a lot of my family fuck with it. And then some of them is like, like some of the older ones, they want you to do what they think you should do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like they not in the driver's seat with this. You know what I mean? Like, so it only went so far. Um, so it's one of them things where sometimes people don't understand how much of a love you got for something and they think they know what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when sometimes in particular you might know what's best for yourself all along.
Mm-hmm.
So me personally, I kind of feel like, I was meant to do this. And when they started realizing that, I'm still going at it and now the music is coming out, now it's like they see the seriousness and now they really starting to analyze and evaluate and kind of get on the bandwagon. But I don't know. I'm real I pay attention to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the family members and I don't care who it was, but the family members and the ones close to me that didn't fuck with me when I was trying to figure it out and give me the support that I needed,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or not try to steer me in a different direction, I don't really fuck with them now.
Wow.
And and it's because the funny thing is, people like what's the dude that owned what's the name? Bill Gates, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had doubters and non-believers. You think he's still fucking with them?
No.
Exactly. Because they're not doing nothing but putting negative energy in your bubble when you need nothing but positive energy to to survive off of. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's one of them things.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't listen, because, you know, if I'm being, one thing about me, I'm very blunt and I'm a straight shooter. I do feel like it's a lot of people that don't need to rap, like, at all. And the fact that so many of them got out there in the game makes it harder for the ones that really got a love for it, really trying to get better with every song, every product they produce, everything, because it's kind of like oversaturated with a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
extras. So that kind of bothers me to the core. But yeah, I don't know. I put family members who support or don't support in the same category as people that's non-family members,
Yeah. Yeah. And
depending
the
on who you
longer
get from them, you know?
that's that's true. And as long as you're happy with what you're doing, though, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And you know, I heard somebody say this, and it kind of makes sense. But they said success is the best revenge.
If revenge is what you're looking for, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you show them like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I didn't listen to all of the negativity, and you see where I'm at now. So that's kind of how you got to look at it in a way. But
Yep.
I didn't think of it like that until somebody was talking about it. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's all about what makes you happy, and then it's just all about walking toward positivity and walking away from negativity.
Yep. So yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't agree with that, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
look at it as revenge, because in all honesty, some of that I think comes out of like spite or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
like, I kind of, like I said, if you're not fucking with what I'm trying to do, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we will part ways, especially if I'm passionate about what I'm trying to accomplish.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
I need you to give me the same energy should I get on that you gave me when I wasn't on. Because
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind, my energy was different when I was fighting, trying to come up and get every ear listening that I could. And you didn't want to help, you didn't want to support. So that energy changed. Okay. So the fact that I'm on now doesn't mean it changed back to the way it was. That means when I wasn't on, it changed. So now that I am on, it's staying right where you changed it to. So that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
how, how I look at it. And because it changed, and I realized that um, you wasn't being supportive or what have you when I needed you the most, I'm not paying attention to you, and I hope that you're not paying attention to me, because for whatever reason, you didn't take me serious.
Mm-hmm.
So you stay over there, I'm over here now, and I hope you in as good a place as I am, because now I'm in a good place. You know what I mean? So to me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that, but I'm not the type to, get on and then want to show out in front of so and so on some look at me type shit. Like, I, I don't know. I'm not like that. I'm, I'm just not like that. I'm doing this for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you support me, I love you to death for it, and I'm there
Yeah.
for you. But if you're not, just keep it that way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need an apology. I don't need uh, I guess I was wrong later on. Um, just stay over there.
Exactly. Right. Yep. Stay over there. Let me do me. So yeah, well said. And then, so now, how long did it take for you to release your first album, These Words of Mine?
So that's actually, I think altogether I probably got about 8 or 9 albums. So These Words of Mine was like the one that came directly before I'm Good Here, which just released in May.
Mm-hmm.
Um, out on all platforms, by the way. And I appreciate everybody who takes time to listen to that. But that one, to put that out from the start of putting all the songs together, I want to say maybe 8 months. And it was primarily because of, life. Um, you working 50 or 60 hours a week every single
Mm-hmm.
week, and you try to do
Wow.
this music thing at the same time, to some of us, especially In certain areas, like in the Midwest, where music ain't at the forefront like it is on the West Coast and the East Coast, and maybe down south, you better have a good hustle, bringing in some money before you even start thinking about this music thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still got priorities, you still got responsibilities, and ain't nothing worse than a man or a woman who don't take care of their responsibilities because they're trying to live out a dream. I understand sometimes you got to take that plunge and make that jump and all of that, like Steve Harvey liked to say. But y'all got to understand that a lot of these people be talking that shit and they don't tell the whole truth. They don't tell you how they got help when they said they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell you how they had some things lined up as a contingency plan because they told you they just went on a whim and went through it all blindfolded and just worked out. And you just got to have faith. Like they're not telling you everything.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of bugs me when you hear these people out there, you know, talking sideways like that. Because if you really fact check everything they said, 90% of them had some sort of financial backing. They wasn't broke like they say, or something. They had a way to get it popping, whereas a lot of people didn't. And as a result, we pay attention to these people. You know what I'm saying? So like if they say, well, you just got to focus on your dreams and not work because that's going to take away from your dream. Like, so you broke now? Some of y'all got
Exactly.
kids. You're not taking care of your kids. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. So, I try to tell people the best thing that I did was made sure that I had a career squared away first because I got priorities. I got a home I got to take care of, and all this type of stuff, bills, the whole thing. And yeah, I'm chasing my dream and I love this music thing, but I will not let people that rely on me hurt because I'm being selfish, you know? And maybe that's my downfall because sometimes you got to be selfish. Um, but I would feel much better taking care of my responsibilities and my priorities while trying to pursue this dream. And if it works out, it works out. Then just take that plunge and say it don't work out. Now, not only do I gotta mend those bridges that got burned for me not doing what I was supposed to do, but I also got to put all the pieces back together and start up and try and figure out how to make money because I put all my energy into one thing.
Yeah. And that was very well said too. I mean, you have to take care of your responsibilities first, and then you got to have a job or something going for yourself to back up your dream.
Yeah.
Because it's hard out here. You just can't solely rely that, oh, this is going to work out. You always got to set yourself up financially because one thing about this business is it's expensive, especially if you're independent. And then it was funny that you brought that up because I had another guest on here talking about the same thing. He said you got to have money to make this happen, and you got to have something going for yourself. Because when it comes to marketing, when it comes to working with producers and paying for show slots, that requires money and features. So you just can't come into this and not have any funds or nothing going for yourself.
Yeah, it was a couple albums ago easily.
Mm-hmm.
I was hitting the road a lot, doing shows and all of that. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, like I said, being in an area that caters to this type of stuff as opposed to not. Where I'm
Mm-hmm.
from in Michigan, it's not really live from the aspect of having a lot of venues for hip hop. It's really not. We get a couple venues, niggas start shooting it up, it's done.
See.
You know what I mean? That kind of dumb shit. So, you know, Grand Rapids, Detroit, best options. Each one of them is 70 to 90 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not really a feasible option on a daily basis, especially if you're doing 50 to 60 hours a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a time where I was bouncing between here, there, other cities, doing shows quite often. Well, sometimes to get in these shows, you got to pay to get in these shows. And around here, like I said, it's not a lot of venues, but also it's not a lot of venues that cater to necessarily your type of hip hop, your type of rap. And that in itself might cost you a lot because you need to get on stage because you got a product right now. But you can look in all the surrounding cities, and the only venues that's available cater to rap, but not your kind of rap. You know, you might be a conscious hip hop type dude with some lo-fi shit, you know, something like that. Well, they want trap. You know what I mean? Or some crazy other type shit. You know what I mean? So you might be throwing money to get in these shows, and they might have 300 people in that venue. Well, of that 300 people, 9 times out of 10, they there because of the main artists who make different kind of rap than you. Okay, so you just paid this money to get in the show, but you really only performing in front of maybe 20 out of 300 people because 20 of them fuck with your kind of music, your kind of rap. The rest of them don't. They there for old boy. You know what I'm? They there for so-and-so. Now multiply that times 10, 12, 20 shows a month. Let's just say the show to get in the venue was $200. Okay, and you did 20 shows. You know what I mean? That's a quick number crunch, but that don't work out for you. So it's kind of messed up. So you really got to have some sort of backing, financial backing, and I'm not talking about getting these loans because you're screwing yourself over. You know, you're screwing yourself over because you got to pay that back. Even the record label, that's a bank. They should just call themselves a bank, but the record label sound dope as opposed to a bank. You know, instead of a record deal, they should say you got a marketing and distribution loan or something. You know, because that's really what it is.
Yeah. And that makes sense why a lot of people want to stay independent too.
Yep.
Yeah, and you said it right on the money. The labels are banks because yeah, you do have to owe them. They'll market you and they'll put you out there, but it's still a price you got to pay.
100%. 100%. And you won't come out that money. You coming out that. And the thing is people don't understand, but some of these rappers didn't really sound like that in the beginning. But they sound like that now. And it's because they got these you know what I mean? They got fronted, they got them loans. And they got that upfront money and they did a whole bunch of stupid shit with it. So now you still got to pay for all of this music related stuff just to get your product out. And because you in the red, now they got more control over what you do because they need their money back. And the only way they're going to get that is through guarantees. So then they run these statistics and all of this and they say, you know, so-and-so is really popping right now. We need you to make something like that because that's how we get our money back. The music that you're making is not going to get us our money back right now. We love what you do. That's why you're here, but you fucked up because you spent all this money and you still got to put the rest of your album together. Woo woo. We need you to sound like so-and-so because we can get the money back quick that way. You know, and a lot of times people get messed up like that.
Yes. And then that's when you get dropped from the labels and stuff like that. And then you still got to pay them.
Yeah, and then you hating the label and all labels when in all reality, you didn't have a good understanding of money, number one. And for some reason, you didn't think they was going to want the money back.
Right. It's a bank at the end of the day. They want their money. Same thing when you paying your mortgage and you going to the bank. They want their money.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yeah, and then that's why it's so important to read those contracts and make sure you have an attorney. If something don't sound right, don't do it. Don't sign it. Because you got people that it's like they won't read it. They'll just go ahead and sign. Oh, I trust them, I sign. But it's more to it. It's a business at the same time. And then that's
Right.
what people got to understand. It's entertainment, but it's also a business too. So
Yeah.
it's so important to take time to read those agreements. Get an attorney with you. You know, attorneys may charge you a one-time fee to just read it over, explain to you what it means, and if it's legit. You know,
Yep.
sometimes you take, and that's another thing why you said you just got to have something going to pay for these stuff, pay for these things, because you're going to have an attorney with you.
Yep. Go
Yeah.
live through.
So yeah, so that very, very well said what you said too. Now, how long did it take for you to release your second album or to release your album I'm Good Here?
Um, way longer than it should have. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
For stupid reasons though. It was like when I dropped These Words of Mine, I had all but 2 songs left to do on I'm Good Here. And it was just one of them things where, I kind of got in my head here and there and didn't know if I wanted to release it, whatever, whatever. So much time went by and it just sat there not doing nothing. One minute I listened to the body of work and I'm like, I should have put this out weeks ago. This is dope. And then the next minute I'm like, this is the worst thing I ever done. I'm wrecking my whole studio. So I kind of had to get over that and just say, you know what, I'm gonna live and die with it. I put these songs together individually for their own reasons, and I owe it to myself and the amount of work I put in uh, to release the album and move on to the next one. So I did. So yeah, it took from the time These Words of Mine dropped, I should have released this one 6 to 8 months later. I was that far along, but
Mm-hmm.
instead it was closer to 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. But as long as you're happy with the album too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that you're proud to put out there, let people know, hey, this is this album, check it out. And then, too, another question I was going to ask, what makes this album significant and what makes it stand out from These Words of Mine?
I think the obvious answer is the content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with every product made, music related, it's it's sort of a photo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Each body of work is its own photo. And I like
Right.
the photos in this album collectively because I know mentally I was in a different place with the last album as opposed to this album. I like the vibe on a lot of these songs. I really went out the box on a couple of them, and I did some things, or I talked about some things that I never talk about um, with that amount of detail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's different for a few different reasons, as it should be. It's a brand new body of work, but I think the overall vibe I really like, top to bottom. I stayed true to my core. Um, I went over here off in left field a little bit. I rolled the rails on these a couple times, a little bit. You know what I mean? And collectively, um, I respect what I put together because of that. Because
Mm-hmm.
this one took me out of my comfort zone. Um, because it was there was a few songs in particular, I was just like, I'm just gonna put it out there. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, because I never put this kind of stuff out there. But number two, um, I don't know if it's gonna work or not because I never have. And as detailed as the songs are, I know some people are gonna relate. So I just did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, those songs that I'm talking about are doing a lot better than I expected. So I'm glad I did that.
That's
I'm
good.
glad I did that.
Yeah. Well, congrats on that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, too, any future dream collabs?
So I honestly don't mind collabing with people. Um, My only request is listen to some songs, and if you feel like we can make good product, I'm here. You know what I mean? We can figure the rest out afterwards.
Mhm.
It was a few people that I really wanted to do work with because I really respected their work. Um, One of them was Sky Zoo from Brooklyn. Um, Another one was Guilty Simpson from Detroit. It's a group called the Ugly Heroes. I've been on a track with two of the three, you know, and Kool Keith. That was a big one, just out of respect. Uh,
Mhm.
but it's one of them things. I heard somebody write a lyric about, when your idols become your rivals. So
Mhm.
I kind of, while I was like, yeah, I want to be on a track with so and so and woo woo, all of this. Like I'm really not on that no more. Because some of them dudes, I been on a track where I don't look at them the same. Like so. I just want to make good music, and I don't care who it's with. I want to share the energy that led you to me and put it
Mhm.
in a song.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, with me, that's what it's all about. And I don't have like a certain group of people or a list to check off right now.
Okay. But yeah, that was a well said answer though. I mean, whoever's ready and you willing to work with you, just do it. Make magic happen.
Right, right.
That's the best answer. Yeah. And then any other advice you would give to anyone who wants to be an artist or a producer?
So this ties into what I was saying earlier. I
Mhm.
spoke a little bit more on it. The number one thing you need to do, if this is really what you want to do, is make sure that you have a career or you have a solid job that gives you maybe not financial security, but a means to pay your bills and keep your head above water, because this music shit is going to pull a lot of money from you. It's going to pull a lot. You're going to run into some people that's just there to get money out of you. And you have not been robbed until you've been robbed by somebody in the music game. Trust me, it's different. Um, and the funny thing is, you damn near blind with all of these transactions that you make, especially now, you know. Um, so get a career, get you some money coming in, because it's expensive. And then on top of that, the best thing you can do is any person that you linked up with that seems to be helping you move forward. It might be somebody who added you to a playlist. It might be so and so that's making good beats. You need to set folders aside on your computer, whatever, your phone. I got them on both, and you add these people to these photos, these folders accordingly. You should have a folder that's got, I got one called the plug, and it's all the podcasters, all of the radio stations that fuck with me, uh uh playlisters. You need a folder like that. Um, you need one for promotion, whatever promotional services work that gave you genuine streams and genuine listeners, because it's a lot of them out there that know how to tweak these numbers, and you'll probably find out later on when Spotify trying to take your music down. So I've been doing a lot of reading. You don't want that. Trust me. It's a lot of people out there hurting right now because their music got snatched down. Um,
Mm.
so get these lists put together. So when you start putting together more bodies of work, you already got a foundation for your own marketing. And it's going to take some time. And none of this is easy. Um, but if you're chipping away at it little by little every day, um, in no time at all, you'll have a nice list. That way, when you put out a new single, a new album, whatever,
Mhm.
you could be letting them know days before it drops, a week before it drops, and get some interviews lined up, whatever. Get them MP3s sent to the DJs, the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, um, but you gotta give yourself a leg up. And in all honesty, getting these files put together with these important people or links is the biggest thing you can do that'll get you moving quick every time around.
Mm, okay. Well, yeah, and that was well said too. I mean, you got to have something going for yourself, and then be mindful of what you're putting out into the public too, because you don't, like you
Mhm.
said, you don't want them to snatch down anything off of Spotify. You worked hard to put that down. You try to find your music, and it's gone.
And it's gone, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, cool. I mean, so that was some very great advice. So now we're gonna have a little bit of fun. So we're gonna play a game called Who Would You Rather Work With? So I'm gonna just name two artists, and we're gonna start off with hip hop, and then we're gonna kind of narrow down to R&B. So I'm gonna name two artists, and you'll tell me which one you would rather work with.
Okay.
All right. So we got Scarface or Method Man.
Damn. Oh, damn. Um, damn. Okay, so damn. Right out the gate, a tough one. Um, I think I'm gonna say Method Man only because I get a lot of love on the East Coast. So I feel like that could be, and you know, he got witty bars, the whole thing. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I love Scarface. I still listen to Scarface to this day. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Uh,
Okay.
so that won't hurt. You know? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like Meth, he's still cooking. And I like what he did um, on that Dave East joint, Unbelievable, not too long ago. So yeah, I would probably say Method Man, to be honest.
Okay. Okay, cool, cool. All right. So what about DMX or Busta Rhymes?
Oh shit. This just don't get easier. I would have to say X, just because
Okay.
I feel like I'm a passionate person. You know, I speak with a lot of passion when my voice is cooperating, and
Hmm.
I feel like X didn't have a range. He didn't have no like. It didn't matter. He could rap about it, but you got to be willing to take it there. And then he
Uh-huh.
got you know what I mean? Like all the tracks I ever heard from him, um, it didn't matter what it was. He could bang bars on it and it's gonna sound dope. But
Hmm.
yeah, the passion that he had, I don't know of another artist that can have people ready to split their head open in a concert and then have them crying at the end while he, reciting prayer. I've never
Hmm.
seen that in my life. You probably never will. Um,
No.
it takes a lot of passion to have that kind of magnitude. Um, so yeah, I'll probably say X, but Bus been one of the top dogs for decades. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
respect to him, I still play all his music. Some old, a whole lot new. Uh, but yeah, I would say X.
Okay, cool. He's one of my all-time favorite rappers too, DMX.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something about Rough Riders Anthem, Party Up, all those hits he had out.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And Who We Be, that's one of my all-time favorite songs by him, Who We Be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the video was nice too. Yeah, he could put together some videos. And
Yeah.
rest in
Yeah.
peace to DMX too. So yeah. And
Yeah.
also, so number three, we have Twister or Ludacris.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Twister.
Okay.
Shout out to Chicago. I just I don't like rapping fast, but I fast rap too.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he don't get enough respect for being one of the first dudes that did it at that level. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he in the Guinness Book of World Records. Why are we still
Yeah.
talking about other people being better than him?
Mm-hmm.
Like I get sick of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say Twister.
Okay, cool, cool. Now what about Pac or Nas?
Pac.
Okay. Yeah, he was a very great storyteller.
And he don't get enough respect for that. Everybody act like he
Yeah.
can't storytell on his first album. That tell me you never even heard his first album. I mean, he
Hmm.
had like 3 storytelling joints on that. They all classics in their own way.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
yeah, Pac hands down. But let's not act like Nas ain't one of the greatest. Also, I mean,
Hmm.
ain't he? His work is being studied by professors and taught in classes at, I want to say, Harvard or Yale or something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, this is Nas now. They studying one of
Yeah.
his classic albums. That's not easy. You know what I mean? So he is one of the dopest ever, but I got to ride with Pac on that one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool then. Now we're gonna switch over to the females now. So, would you rather work with Queen Latifah or Roxanne?
Latifah.
Okay.
Yep. No question about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's one of the pioneers for the women too. Her and
Yeah.
Roxanne actually.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and I hope they do a biopic picture about Queen Latifah too, because I know they did one on Roxanne, but I don't know if Queen Latifah have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really not even sure, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But
If
yeah,
they don't, they need to definitely work on one for her.
yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, yeah. So next we have Big Pun or Fat Joe.
Oh, damn it. I love crack.
Uh
Um,
huh.
and he was like, man, I think I'm gonna have to go with Big Pun just because the challenge. I
Hmm.
think crack dope. Don't get me wrong, but Big Pun. I mean, that dude is like rap on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I like a challenge. So yeah, I have to go with Pun.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Now what about Lil Wayne or Kanye West?
Yay.
Okay.
And that was a hard one too, but with Ye, it's beats and lyrics. So I feel
Hmm.
like I could bang bars with him, but then I might be able to pick his brain on beats, so it's a 2 for 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only reason. Lil Wayne, he been killing it though.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I still love College Dropout and The Carter the
Yeah.
Third to this day. Those are classic albums. They never get old.
Yeah, everybody missed throwback Kanye, but I still
Hmm.
respect new nigga Kanye.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it just ain't the same since his mama died.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. That's the sad part.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, but he's still influential in the business too, making beats, putting out albums, and they was all great. So yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Wayne did the same thing.
Right. And people get too caught up in these little, clips where they're not showing the whole thing half the time, or
Hmm.
words is taken out of context. Not everybody gonna say what you want to hear 100% of the time. But in this day,
Exactly.
everybody's a news reporter, and everybody got their own little fucking opinion, and they got a following where they can cry. And now, if you don't agree with so and so, you might not be canceled right now, but you looked at a certain way. So, I hate it for him because nobody really knows what it's like to go through what he's going through mentally with his own
Hmm.
issues and then all this other stuff going on. And you got cameras in your face every time you turn around to take a breath of air, asking you questions.
Right.
Um, and then don't get me wrong, he puts himself in front of some of these cameras. Um, and things are said, but also taken out of context. I don't agree with a lot of shit he said. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I do. But in the same breath, number one, he's an entertainer. Number two, what he say don't program my brain to think any different about what's important to me.
Hmm.
All right. And number three, I started fucking with him on some music shit. So unless it's music related, it don't so much matter to me. Because at the end of the day, I fuck with him because of the artist he is and the artist he became, not
Yeah.
because of what he's saying. So people, I don't know if it's a matter of people getting in the spotlight and then other people just looking for something to take them down or what, but I'm just over this whole toxicity that you see everywhere right now. Because I don't want to say it's pointless, but like I just think it's trash because the same people that shooting some of these people down, you know, they got some shit in their closet that'll probably get them locked up. You know what I mean? Or in some sort of bad way too, if they start getting their stuff aired out. You know, but everybody love being on these moral high grounds like that. It just kind of get on my nerves, man.
Yeah, and it's sad too the way you know, the paparazzi is always in people's business and how the media portray these people. Because like
Yeah.
you said it right there. You never know what people are going through.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just messed up. But he gonna still continue to do him though. You know, I don't see Kanye I don't see him not putting out any more albums. He's gonna continue to put out albums and do well for himself.
Yep. No question.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And Wayne too. So the
Yeah.
next question is ODB, which was Old Dirty Bastard, of course, or Mystical.
Uh, I'm gonna go with Mystical because I already picked one Wu-Tang member earlier, but
Okay.
I would really love to do a track with ODB though. That would be kind of dope though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So now we're gonna go throwback. So we're gonna go with Dougie Fresh or Heavy D.
I would say Heavy D.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a vibe to him. Like I like the way he used to rap, you know, because it was just an upbeat, positive vibe all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay, well that's cool. That's cool then. Now these are new school, now well newcomer rappers or you know the new school guys. So we got Lil Durk or G Herbo.
I think I only heard one G Herbo song,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't enough to make me pick
Okay.
with either one of these dudes right now.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, just
Yeah,
because
that
I'm on one track, I'd probably say G Herbo, but I don't know, Lil Durk might be banging way, but
yeah. He got that song all well, it's one of my favorite songs. He got that song All My Life featuring J. Cole. That's a hit there. And then he's from Chicago too. And I believe G Herbo's from Chicago too. So yeah.
yeah, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we're gonna switch it up to the new school female rappers. So I got Meg the Stallion or Cardi B.
Damn it. Is there a neither?
I mean, you could do neither.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do neither one.
Okay. All right. So now this is gonna be a good one here. It's gonna be three female MCs. I'm finna name. So we got Lauren Hill, Missy Elliott, or Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Which one?
Lauryn Hill.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because she just did a show here, I want to say last year.
Yeah, she been nice.
Yeah, that album that she put out is gonna always be a classic. Yeah, Miseducation of Lauren Hill. That's gonna be a classic.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of wish she hadn't disappeared because, you know, shortly after that, it wasn't enough high figure females in the industry for these women coming up to look at to make them respect themselves more and put out less of this garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna always be a classic album. All right, so now we're gonna switch it up to R&B now. So now we have Faith Evans or Brandy.
whoa, Brandy,
Okay, cool, cool. Okay. And next we're gonna have Aaliyah or Monica.
Aaliyah.
Okay. Usher or Chris Brown?
Uh, I might. Oh, I mean, Chris Brown, kind of a young Usher, but
Yeah.
I think I gotta fuck with Usher because he just accidentally put out classics.
All right. Yeah, that new album coming home is cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he doing this thing. Did you see his BET Lifetime Achievement Award
No,
ceremony?
I ain't even see it.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. He was saying some stuff on there, so I got to find out what it was. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely shout outs to Usher and both Breezy too. They both doing their
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So next we have Genuine or Cisco.
Oh Lord, now we getting into the goddamn freak zone.
Right.
Uh, damn it. I mean, we talking throwback Genuine and throwback Cisco, right?
Right. Yeah.
Shit. I don't know. I might have to go with Genuine on this one. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
give me the whole Drew Hill. Now we might be talking about something.
Right.
But
Yeah. They do need to come back.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Genuine. Okay. Cool. So now, what about Omarion or Mario?
I don't know. I think Mario collectively is the better artist vocally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I like that. And then too, I believe he's back on the road doing more shows now, which is cool. Yeah, because
Right.
I follow him on IG. He's still doing good. Him and Omarion.
That's what's
Yeah, but
up.
okay, Mario. Okay, now what about Janae Aiko or her?
Her.
Okay. And
No,
what
no,
about
no, no question about it.
oh yeah, yeah, her, she's very talented too. Her and Janae. And that was kind of a challenge to put that together too. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then she was on the color, and then her was on a new version of the color purple too.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she did good on there. So next we have Queen Naja or Tink.
Mm. Probably Naja.
Okay, yeah, 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 she's cool too, and Tink too. And Tink is from yep, she's from Chicago. So yep, both of them doing their thing.
Yeah.
All right. So now what about Kalani or Seven Streeter?
I would say neither.
Okay, okay. All right. So here is the last question. What about Money Long or Scissor?
Mm. Probably Money Long.
Okay, yep. Yeah, and then she's came a long way too. You know, started off in the writing game and you see where she's at now on tour.
Yep.
Yeah. And then SZA doing her thing, got that song Snooze is still doing well. So yeah. Shout outs to both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. But that was very fun and cool. So anything else you want to leave with the listeners?
Yeah. The new album name, I'm Good Here, available on all platforms, released this year in May. It's a must-have. Stream it. You can buy it on Bandcamp. You can go to Spotify, Apple, Tinder, Tidal, Pandora, Deezer, um, anywhere you want to go, you can go and stream this album. Um, give it a listen. If you like it, share it. If you share it, I love you. Uh, don't forget to hit that heart next to the song so you hear more songs like me and by me. I appreciate y'all listening. Stay healthy. Think first, move later. That's about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Deebo, for coming through. You know, talking about the rap game, your the beginnings of your music journey, and then just basically keeping it real and honest with everybody.
Yeah,
And
no.
playing with you rather. So I definitely appreciate it. And I'm gonna definitely be checking out these new words. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, these words of mine, I'm gonna definitely check out, and I'm gonna definitely check out your new album. I'm good here.
Appreciate that.
Yes, no problem. Thank you so much again for coming through.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one. Stay
All
blessed.
right, you too. Thank you.
One.
All right. So that's going to do it for Inspiring Discussions, episode 22. I would like to thank Deebo Mac again for stopping by, and I would like to thank you all for tuning in. And please check out episode 23, that's available as well. And I will leave Deebo's info in the description box. And I still have merch on my website if anyone is interested. And I will leave my Linktree info in the box as well. So, again, thank you all so much. Stay safe and God bless you all.